What is up, everyone? It's time for the Level 1 podcast to return on this lovely Friday. And what a week it's been. On the show, I'm going to recap everything that went down, including the games that worked and the games that didn't. The betas that were fun and one that crashed. We're going to talk about the status of each playthrough because we got a couple games that are coming to their end, but could be extended dependent on if you support them. We'll talk about TCG stuff. I'll update you on all the hits and misses we had this week and the new set that's supposed to be arriving today. Plus, updates on DSP Tries It and more. It's going to be a great cumulative catch-up show. So I hope you're having a good one, and if you're not, hopefully this will get you caught up and you're having this will get you caught up and you'll have a good time. Sit back and relax. It's time for the Level 1 podcast. So, everyone, welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 14th. I guess it doesn't have as much impact as when it's not Friday the 13th. Friday the 14th of August, 2026. I'm DSP. This, of course, is the Level 1 podcast. And like I said, in this case, we've got a good one because we are going to be recapping a ton of stuff that happened this week. You know, some playthroughs have come to an end or are coming to an end. Others are picking up, and we got some new stuff going on next week to talk about, but some stuff is up in the air. It's totally up to you if these playthroughs will continue or not. Thank you to Overcooked Octopus Feet, who just gifted a membership. That is our first, that is actually our first contribution of the show. So thank you, Overcooked Octopus Feet. I appreciate that. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, what is going down this week? We got games. We got cards. We got DSP Tries It to talk about and more. All right? So, let's discuss all of these things, shall we? This was an interesting week for sure because there was a lot of things that we were kind of trying or testing out, and we didn't know how they were going to go. Well, let me put it this way. There was definitely ups and downs this week, okay? So, let's take a quick gander, shall we, at the things that were this last 6 days of streaming, so you know how everything went and what we'll be continuing and what's done, okay? So, first off, we actually started off the week pretty strongly, I would say. We had some fun coming back from the all-day Thursday where we were playing Marvel Tokon, okay? And the question was, this week would Tokon be fixed? Because last week when I tried to play it, it was completely busted on PC and it was, like, unplayable. So we were hoping that they were going to patch it and that it was going to be fixed. We started off the week with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync, which was quite fun as we pushed forward with the game. And we continued with the side content and story. In this particular case, we did the final officer mission that was available. We unlocked the Templar armor, okay? We also, on another stream later in the week, continued on with the story and finished up the Blackbeard story arc and started another one where Nassau was getting taken over by the British. So, good progress. At this point, we're more than halfway through the plot of the game. We actually have done a significant amount of the side content already. So this has been a nice, chill, slow burn, summertime playthrough. It's worked well. And it's been a ton of fun. It will continue next week as we now pretty much solely focus on the story. And what I mean by that is, since, again, we've done almost all the side content besides the big fort takeovers, the 1 or 2 rare hunts that are still remaining, it makes sense to just focus on the story, which is what we'll be doing. So, good stuff there, okay? So, AC, Black Flag Resynced will continue next week. The support for it is up and down. Sometimes we have a really slow stream, but then we actually had a very well-supported stream of it last time. So, who knows what's going to happen with that playthrough. But it's been a fun, chill summertime event, and I'm going to continue with that over this next 1 or 2 weeks until we wrap it up. Then, another playthrough that we did continue on with was Dark Souls 2. Now, in this particular case, we need to talk about Dark Souls 2, okay? This has been a playthrough where I have applied this lighting mod, path tracing, that made this playthrough feel way different than the previous ones that I had done. It just looks way more like a modern game. However, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, is probably the worst playing Dark Souls game of them all. It has weird mechanics that are only present in this game that make it very frustrating and annoying. And in addition, there's just really wonky things with hitboxes and certain areas of the game that are just overly difficult. But I've toughed through it, you know, even though I could barely see and I had to run around with a torch 90% of the playthrough. We've done it. We're at the end of the game. In fact, the only thing left to do is the 3 Dark Lurker dungeons, and then fighting the Dark Lurker optional boss themselves. To fight Vendrick, now that I have all 4 of the old giant souls, we can now fight Vendrick and actually do damage to him. And then the end of the game, which is that final door in the Drangleic Castle that goes to that basement area and takes you out into the final area and then the final boss. Okay, so we don't have much left. We likely will complete the game today, unless I run into a lot of difficulty. We have to grind for fire butterflies, actually, in order to do the Dark Lurker stuff. So we'll see, but basically we're at the end of the game. All right, 1 or 2 more streams, we're done. I have had a love-hate relationship with the game this time around, but I think in general, yes, I've enjoyed playing Dark Souls 2 because it's been the challenging game that I've been playing over a month now. Without Dark Souls 2, basically all the other games are kind of more relaxing, long, slow burn playthroughs, chill vibes and the like. This is the game that has the suspense and the challenge and the rage, right? And people like that for variety purposes. So I would like to continue playing Dark Souls 2. I would like to do the DLCs for it. There's 3 big DLCs for Dark Souls 2. It's different Crowns of the Kings, right? I think that's what it's called or something like that. And I particularly remember them being very challenging and annoying, but at the same time, they're pretty, you know, they're pretty challenging and fun to watch. Now, here's the problem. Dark Souls 2's support has fallen off a cliff. All right, just being honest here. When we started off playing it a little over a month ago, people were very excited. They were coming by and supporting in droves, and it was working very well. And then all of a sudden, I'd argue like 2-3 weeks ago, it started slowing down. We started having streams where I was barely making $100. Then we started having streams under $100 of support. Now, I continued on because I said, listen, I like the game. I want to at least beat it. We've invested a lot of time in it. But we haven't really seen much improvement. Most streams of Dark Souls 2 just have not been doing as well, all right? Especially when I'm playing other games that are doing way better. It makes me ask the question, is it worth my time to continue playing Dark Souls 2 and its DLCs? Or do we just wrap it up, finish the main game, and say, okay, we're done, and move on and do other content for the rest of the summer, okay? We have many options. There's a lot of things going on right now that we could be partaking in that we're kind of holding off on because we've been doing other playthroughs, all right? So here's the deal. Here is the matter-of-fact situation right now. Today, it's Dark Souls 2, right after this podcast on this very stream, okay? If people show up, engage, and support with Dark Souls 2, and it's a well-supported stream, I will commit to doing a DLC next week. We'll actually start up one of the 3 DLCs. I'm not sure which one, but we'll start up one of the DLCs and go from there. What I might actually do is look up chronological order of which order they released and play them in that order. But that's only if we have a well-supported stream today. So if you like Dark Souls 2 and you want it to continue and you've been asking the entire playthrough, will he do the DLCs? Today is the day to support this stream. All right? Whether it's some super chats, becoming a member, gifting some memberships, whether it's some kicks, whether it's becoming a sub or gifting some subs on Kick, or whether it's a tip via PayPal, however it might be, you got to support the stream today if you want it, okay? So today, if this stream is not well supported, and it's yet another slower Dark Souls 2 stream, we're done. We're just going to finish up the main, game, and we will move on to other content next week. That's perfectly fine. The way I see it, there's definitely a mix of people. Some people really like it. Some people don't like it and have gotten bored of it. And some people are in between, okay? But I got to do what the business wants. I got to do what the demand wants, People are asking me to do this, and I can't do them all. I got to do things that are worth my time. So let's see how today goes. If you want Dark Souls 2, you can support right now during this podcast. You can support when I'm playing the game, but be sure to support on this stream, okay? Cool. Okay, Dapian says, chronological would be Sunken King first, the Poison Dragon, arguably the worst DLC, laughing out loud. That's the one where you go down into this underground dungeon, and it's tough because there's all these bridges and enemies that are sniping you, and then there's the crazy tough dragon at the end, right? He's flying around attacking you at the end, you fight him. Yeah, I remember that DLC. Totally, I remember it. Okay. So, let's see how it goes. 220, thank you for 100 kicks. Okay. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pin a message about this. Here we go. I'm putting up 2 pinned messages so everyone knows what's going on in regards to that, okay? Cool. Okay, so continuing on. Let's talk about the other game that right now we are determining if we're going to continue on with or not. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. This week, we got so far in, we are almost 40 hours into Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. We're actually around 36 parts, okay? It's a playthrough that's been going on for 2 months. It's the current Pokemon playthrough. It's actually the only Pokemon content I now have in the rotation because we stopped playing all the other Pokemon-related games, including Pokemon Champions, TCG Card Shop, and everything else. They all ended. This is the only Pokemon content that I'm putting out. But the same exact thing has happened with Pokemon as has happened with Dark Souls 2. Because I've been playing it for so long, basically, the support has dried up. The last stream we did of Pokemon, once again, ended up being very low support. And the weird part is, people are saying to me, are you going to do the post-game? There's post-game in this game. There's all these legendaries to catch. There's optional areas to go. And I'm like, I'm okay with doing post-game. Take a look at how, with Fire Red, we had a very well-supported end of the playthrough, and therefore I did all that post-game content that was available. I would be willing to do that once we beat the Elite Four, once we take out the champion, and, we're done with that. I would do more content, but you gotta support it. So, just as similar as what's going on right now on this stream, okay? On Sunday night, the late stream will be Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. And on that stream, okay, if it is well supported, if we got good attendance, I will commit and say, let's do some post-game content. Let's check it out. If that ends up being yet another slower stream of Pokemon, then we're going to wrap up that playthrough and we're going to do other content instead. Okay? So, again, the power's in your hands. If you like these games and you want them to continue, show up to the appropriate streams and please support them. Let's see what happens on Sunday night with Pokemon and if we'll do post-game or not. Okay? Okay. Now, let's talk about the games this week that flopped, shall we? Let's do that. Let's address that elephant in the room. So first off, this week, Pokemon again. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. The fighting game that just came out last Thursday, which was a mess. Remember, I played it on PC, and the single player was great and worked well, but I went to play it online, and I couldn't find matches. Then when I got matches, they lagged to hell. Everyone complaining that this game just runs horribly on PC, and we're all waiting for a solution. So ArcSys issued a 10 gigabyte patch stating they fixed all the problems. They were related to the game erroneously searching for audio inputs while you were playing it, causing massive memory drops and problems. They claimed to fix it. So I took their word for it, and I scheduled a major stream of Marvel Tokon for this week, where we were going to play the episode story mode of the X-Men, and then we were going to take the X-Men team online with online gameplay. We beat the X-Men story mode in about an hour, leaving me with about 90 minutes to play the game online. And the game runs horribly online. Basically, ArcSys is incompetent. They don't know what they're talking about. They claim they fixed it. They didn't. First off, you try to search for a match, you can't find anyone. The only way you can actually find a match is if you reduce the amount of bars of connection you're looking for. So I searched for 4 or above, I could barely find anyone. When I went to 3, we were able to find people, but of course, the matches were laggy. Okay? Horrible. Then when you get into a match, sometimes the game has massive problems. There was one point where my joystick actually was disabled while I was playing. It's a competitive fighting game, and you disable the controller of the player during a match. Does that sound like a well-developed game? How about the fact that as you're playing, the game minimizes itself off of your screen, and you're like, where did it go? I'm playing. Where the hell did the game go? And then you got to go find it and re-put it on your screen. Like, what the hell just happened? Okay? It's pathetic. It's like, these are like basic game development things that you should figure out before you release a game for sale. They had a public beta. How did they not figure this shit out? It's ridiculous, okay? In addition, the game still lags, the game still stutters, the game still freezes and unfreezes when you play it online. Everything they claimed they fixed, they actually didn't fix. They lied about it completely to try to get people back to playing it on PC. And then on top of all of that, what you come to the realization of is that because this game is so easy, meaning any character can hit you from mid-screen with a poke that goes all the way across the screen, and if they hit you, they can literally execute a 50+% damage combo. Every character in the game can do it. It doesn't take tough execution. This is a game for babies, okay? It literally is a game for people who don't play fighting games. It's so easy to play. Because of that, you need to always have an impeccably good internet connection, because someone could just keep throwing out this normal, and you just can't block it. You won't be able to see, okay, oh, I got hit. Oh, I'm done. I actually lost the round because one hit occurred that I couldn't defend against because this game lags online. So not only does the game have all these bugs and issues, it also is just unplayable online anyway. What I foresee is that this game could actually do well as an offline game. If you're just sitting around playing offline with your friends, if you're in a tournament, it could probably have very high-level gameplay, and it would be a very good game. As a multiplayer game, this game is complete ass. Like, you can't play this shit online at all the way that they've designed it. Now, it's not as bad as Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the Marvel collection, where literally the characters teleport into you and do combos you don't see. It's not that bad, but if you literally can't just block something on reaction from mid-screen, the game's unplayable. And it is, at least on PC, because people have said the PS5 version apparently is much, much better, right? So I don't know if that's true or not, because I'm not buying the game again on PS5. I refuse. I've already been robbed of money on PC that I can't get refunded because I played it longer than 2 hours on Steam, so I'm not going to buy it again. The FGC apparently are a bunch of fools who have all decided the game's good and they're going to buy it again on PS5 and play it all on PS5 or cross-play off. Good for them. I'm not a gullible idiot like them. I'm not wasting more money on this game. ArcSys can sit and spin. Their game sucks. I'm not playing it. In fact, it got so bad, I'm not even kidding you, people started paying me on the stream to stop playing it. They were like, you've got to stop with this game. It's not good. You can see how horrible it is. Stop playing. And they started tipping me saying, please stop playing. All right, I'll give you what you want. We'll do other stuff then. So I'm not going to go back to it. I'm done. It's just a shame because it really seems to me like modern game design is so flawed. These game developers just don't have the talent of the people who came before them. They're putting out inferior, unfinished products and selling them as if they're finished. They're not. This game is, you can tell it's so full of bugs and problems, and no one tested or fixed them. Like, what the hell is their problem? So I'm done with Marvel Tokon. If you want to watch people play it and grind through an insanely laggy online piece of shit, one hit into instant kill game, go watch people in the FGC waste their lives. I'll be doing other stuff on my streams, okay? Okay, so forget Marvel Tokon. Now, we also yesterday partook in the Gears of War E-Day open beta, which is hilarious because did you know that there was a closed beta last week that I could have played in? I knew there was a closed beta, and I knew that it was for people who had pre-ordered the game, which I'm not going to do because I have Game Pass. Oh, well, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you also had access to that beta. I did? I wish I knew that because I probably would have played it, but Microsoft didn't really share that information. And again, this is one of their monstrous, huge franchises like Halo, which they need people to be playing to bring people to Xbox and Microsoft products. And they didn't even push the fact that their beta was available if you have Game Pass. Genius marketing, isn't it? Anyway, so yesterday, we tried out the Gears beta. It's freaking horrible. Really, I can't believe it. All right, first off, the gameplay. Completely unbalanced. The only weapon worth using in the beta is the Nasher shotgun, which can kill you instantly if you're anywhere within sight of someone. I mean it, it's so overpowered that if you even get remotely close to someone, it just melts them with one shot. You could be running at someone, do a frontal dodge, and shoot them with the shotgun, instant kill. Every other gun is worthless. It takes a ridiculous amount of bullets to kill someone with another gun. If you try to use the melee attack, someone will just shoot you with the shotgun anyway. In fact, I was literally chainsawing someone. It showed the animation. It showed blood squirting out of them. And then it showed a shotgun blast appear. It says, oh, they killed you with the shotgun. But I was already chopping them in half. I was dissecting them. No, the shotgun killed you. So the gameplay sucks, okay? The beta only has 2 maps, so you're bored of the multiplayer within about an hour because you only have 2 maps to play and only 1 mode, okay? The Horde mode seems pretty good. The Horde mode looks like it's going to have multiple versions, like a short version, a lengthy version, and then a version that's a new one called Siege. In Horde Siege, you drop in with a team of teammates, you have to take over an objective, then you have to defend an objective for 3 rounds into a big boss fight, then you have to extract, okay? Kind of reminds me of, a few other games that we've played in the last several years. So that's actually a neat take on it because it has the traditional Horde mode and it has a new Horde mode, right? So that's nice. And I played it and I liked the Horde mode. I thought that that was sound and that could be a lot of fun content for people who play with a team or friends. But the competitive seemed terrible, okay? Now, in addition to the fact that the competitive played terrible, it actually was tough to get a match. You try to get a match, and you're sitting around waiting and waiting. It's taking a while to get into a match. Then when you get into the match, it's hit or miss if it works. Sometimes it would load and just keep loading and loading and loading and crash. Great. Sometimes you'd start your match and a person would immediately drop. Oh, now it's 3 versus 4. Well, why would I play? I'm going to lose. We're down a player. There's no way we could win. But it's ranked, so you're supposed to stick around and waste your time. Right? And this, for me, out of everything in the beta, this is the absolute worst thing. My first match, let's get into the ranked queue because you have to do 3 placement matches to get graded for rank. My first match, let's try it. Oh, I'm a level 1. I'm on a team with all other level 1s. We're all newbies. We just started. This is our first match. We're going to try it out. We're interested. On the other team, it's 4 level 50s. Does that sound fair? Gee, I'm really going to learn when the team we're facing played the closed beta all last week and knows the entire game. Of course not. They ran around, they grabbed the powerful weapons, they blew us up, they were insta-killing us with the shotguns. We didn't get a shot off. What was the point of the match? So the matchmaking is fucking terrible. You know, the game, I mean, there's so much wrong with the beta. This is how Microsoft wants to push themselves as a major gaming company into the, oh, take us seriously now. We have new leadership. Here's the beta. Dog shit. You can't make it up. They don't know what they're doing. It's absolutely embarrassingly pathetic. I don't know why the Coalition is still allowed to develop Gears games. They suck. They've now made, what, 3? They're all terrible. Okay? Every Coalition Gears game is bad. They need to stop. I think they should give this to another studio, quite frankly. This one, again, 3rd one in a row. They abandoned the modern Gears plotline because it's so bad no one cares about it anymore. They went back in time to the launch of E-Day, you know, when the Locust emerged from the planet. They're like, oh, maybe nostalgia will get people to play. It still sucks. It's still crap. So why do you still let them develop this game? I just don't get it. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to play that right now. I've already played. I was going to play it again Sunday. To hell with that. Now, the game does formally release in October on Game Pass. Will I try it? Sure, I will. We'll try an online session. We'll see if it's improved. We'll play through the campaign a bit, see if people like it. It's on Game Pass. Why wouldn't I? But I'm certainly not excited for it. I was at one point. I thought, oh, Gears. Now I played it. I'm like, oh, Gears. Shit, it's terrible. So it sucks, you know? It really does. This is essentially the future of game development. The modern game developers who are making these games don't polish them, don't finish them, yet they put them out for play and consumption. Then you're the beta tester. You're the one who has to play them and suffer through this unfinished garbage and complain and say, this isn't balanced, this doesn't work, this is a problem. And then maybe somewhere down the line, 3-4 months later, they'll fix it and you'll get a playable game. Whatever happened to games being good at launch, being good at the beginning? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I'm lost. In 18 years I've been a YouTuber. I don't think gaming has had a worse situation than it has right now with these studios that are supposed to know what they're doing, putting out garbage, putting out just unpolished shit. And I'm tired of the shit. I want good games. I don't want trash. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of this. It's actually frustrating the shit out of me. If you can't tell, it's frustrating the shit out of me. Okay? I want to play good games. Why can't AAA studios make good games? So I'm done with Gears for now. We'll check it out again in October. Okay? Now, there is a silver lining to everything that I'm telling you. Okay? There really is. Out of all the stuff I did this week, okay, of which there was a tremendous amount of gaming this week, the one game that I played that was absolutely fun, that was super exciting, that I absolutely loved, and all of you actually supported in droves, was Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Is it getting tons of attention? No. If you actually look at the on-demand views, they're horrible. Some of these videos are only getting 100, 200 views, okay? So there's not a huge audience for it. Why? Because people are biased against classic JRPGs. They are. Oh, that doesn't look good. It's pixel art. Oh, what are you talking about? That game's from the 1990s. I would never watch Phil play that. A very sad attitude. Because in my opinion, Final Fantasy VI is my favorite RPG and almost certainly the best RPG I've ever played. Maybe there are better ones, I don't know. But it's such an excellent classic, and this version of the game, okay, is so good. With new improved visuals, widescreen, more HD stuff added to it. The music's been completely redone from the ground up and sounds amazing. Quality of life improvements, like being able to walk in any direction instead of just across, and always walking really fast, quick saving whenever you want so you can stop playing and resume later, right? It's absolutely great what they have done to improve this game. I love it. The audience that shows up for it is engaged and very supportive. We have not had a slow stream of Final Fantasy VI. I'm going to repeat what I just said. We have not had a slow stream of Final Fantasy VI. Every stream of Final Fantasy VI has done well. Every stream we've hit multiple milestones of support. We've opened tons of packs of cards. It's been absolutely amazing. Okay? So I'm very happy for that. I'm very grateful because, as I told you guys when I started this 2-3 weeks ago, this is a playthrough that I wanted to invest a lot of time in over the summer and do a full playthrough of, including all side content. And so far, we've done that. All right? So as long as we keep it up, we'll play this 2 to 3 times on nice streams a week, and it's going to be a great ride. But I understand it's for a much smaller, curated audience. This is not my widespread audience. Particularly, you can see from the views these videos bring in after the fact. It's probably a couple hundred people who really like it, but those people are showing up and supporting in droves, and I really do appreciate that. All right, so please, let's keep that going. Final Fantasy VI is a big success story right now, and I'm very happy for it. All right? So, all of that being said, we're done with Gears for now. We're completely done with Marvel ToeCon. I'm not wasting time on that. We have 2 playthroughs that are, let's see what happens. Today, if people support Dark Souls 2 and we have a well-supported stream, I will begin a DLC next week. And if on Sunday night, people show up and support Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I will do post-game content in Brilliant Diamond. If neither of those things happen, then we're just going to finish the base games and we're done and we're moving on. Okay? Now, next week, we will have some potentially new things in the pipeline that I want to talk about, and I'm excited for. So I hope that you guys are too. But before we get to that, I have a few shout-outs to do. Spoderman did a $2 super chat. He says, stick to single-player games. Well, the thing is, it's not even the fact that these games are multiplayer that they're bad. It's that when you have a multiplayer game, there's more to it. It's not just someone's going to sit there and have an offline experience. You have all these factors involved. The netcode, the matchmaking, and none of these companies know how to do it. I mean, we had Marvel Tokon and Gears E-Day both suck ass because they're online multiplayer games. The matchmaking sucks, the quality of the connections suck, and the gameplay sucks. They don't know what they're doing. That's what's sad is like, why can't they make good multiplayer games anymore? I remember a time when this time of year, late summer into fall, there would be 10 big multiplayer games that would all come out. You'd have a Call of Duty, you've had a Battlefield, maybe Halo. You'd have a cover-based shooter, maybe like a Gears game. Then you'd have like multiplayer for an Uncharted game. Assassin's Creed had multiplayer back then, right? Then you'd have like a big sports game. There'd be like a million games to play multiplayer, and you'd have big variety. It would be super fun. I had entire weeks based on playing multiplayer with my viewers because there were so many good games. They all suck now. What do you want me to do? I'm not making the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making them, so I can't fix this issue. They have to make good multiplayer games. But you're right. Since the multiplayer games are sucking, it sounds like I have to focus on single-player stuff. It just sucks because people have been saying, hey, when are you going to do multiplayer again outside of Friday Night Fights, where you play classic fighters, which is well and good, and people still want that. You know, when are you going to do variety? I wish the variety was worth playing. The games are horrible. You know, like they just need to spruce. They need to they need to learn how to make games and stop taking paychecks when they don't know what they're doing. This new generation of game devs are terrible. Sorry, I'm frustrated if you can't tell. Okay, thank you, Spoderman, for the super chat. Okay. I got a $2 tip. I enjoy watching you get... This guy is basically talking shit. He's like, you know, basically, he enjoyed watching me suck in Gears. I know I suck in Gears. I never said I was good. I know, you know, I haven't played Gears in a zillion years, and when I play it, I usually don't play it that much. So it's hard to get a handle on the gameplay mechanics or whatever. In this particular case, if you didn't notice, all anyone ever did was run around with a shotgun. Like, that's the whole game. It's just shotgun. That's so boring to me. Everyone just runs around using the same weapon. You can't even have variety of gameplay because that's the whole game. Stupid shit. Let's see here. I got a $1.50 tip. This person says, I've been watching for a while, and I like the last theme song. Reminds me of Iron Maiden and your new one now. It's like a Punk 2000 song. I don't skip it. I listen to it. Did you make it? Is there a full version? Are you talking about the podcast intro? That was made by... Actually, that was made by someone who I paid to make it. And yes, there actually is a full version that's longer than that version. Okay? Someone tipped me $2 complaining about Final Fantasy VI. I don't care. Thanks for $2. Oh, let's see here. 220 did 500 kicks and says, have you considered repurposing the old goal music and animations into a milestone celebration? It lets us all celebrate together and people miss it. I really haven't heard anyone complaining whatsoever about it. It only very much at first when we abolished the goals back in what was it, like December? And I stopped doing that animation. A few people did complain, but then they quickly just fizzled out and I haven't heard any complaints about it at all. If we had massive complaints about it, maybe we consider bringing it back in some capacity, but since we haven't had many people really complain, it's not a big deal. Okay. So, a couple things regarding next week, gaming-wise. Then let's talk about TCG stuff. Let's talk about DSP tries it, and then we'll get into the Q&A segment of the show, okay? So, gaming-wise next week, there's a couple things that I would like to try. First off, hold on, I'm just checking on status of something here. Okay, that's good news. That's actually very good news. That was just a few minutes ago, actually. Okay. Okay, it's very good news. Okay, so 2 things I would like to try gameplay-wise next week. Now, there's no new releases or anything next week, okay? First off, you may not be aware, but yesterday on Nintendo Switch Online, if you have the premium subscription, which I do, I bought it for a year, guess what game came out of all the games that could have come out? Super Mario Sunshine. This was the huge Mario game around the GameCube era. It's the one where Mario has a water jet backpack and he sprays things with water to clean them off. I think he's cleaning off paint, because isn't this the one where Bowser Jr. is painting everything and then you have to clean it off or whatever? So here's the deal. I've played this game once. It was like 7-8 years ago, okay? It was on my Wii, which is sitting right there. I'm staring at it right now. My Wii could play GameCube games. It's actually the backwards compatible model that has the GameCube ports and everything. So, I played it on there, but the problem was twofold. Number one, games that you emulate on the Wii have delay. They're not, like, as good as if you're playing it really on the GameCube. They have some input delay. Number two, I played it with an adapter that allowed my Wii to be plugged into HDMI so I could capture the playthrough and broadcast it. That also created some graphical issues with pixelization, fuzziness, and a little bit of delay. So basically, I wasn't playing the best version of the game. It had some issues. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't horrible. It was somewhere in between. Notably, I hated the game. And what I mean by that is I was so frustrated at certain parts of the game that I felt weren't polished, and that the game developers basically kind of dropped the ball on a Mario game, because most of the time when you play a mainstream Mario game, it feels like this really polished, tailored experience per what you would expect. Like, for example, go play Super Mario Odyssey. Now, the game's 9 years old, but the game is, like, impeccable. Like, everything there is polished and great. The game's mechanics are sound and very sturdy. You know how to use them. You can trust them to work. In Sunshine, it just felt like a finicky game. Like, half the time, stuff wouldn't work. The hit detection was weird. The camera angles were bizarre. Certain stages, like, remember that one pinball stage is, like, impossible? Like, why did they make the game like that? It's supposed to be a Mario game. It's supposed to be the flagship game for Nintendo that sells consoles and is pushed to the forefront. And to me, it just felt like it was crap, okay? Now, keep in mind, this was a long time ago. Maybe I was just in a bad mood. Maybe it was the version that I played had input delay. I don't know. But people actually loved the playthrough. Like, no lie, I kept threatening to stop playing it because I hated it so much. But people were like, no, keep playing. So I did. I actually did a full playthrough of the game. So here we are all these years later, and people tend to ask for things, and they know that I had a rough time with them. Plus, let's be honest, I'm different now. I'm a different gamer. I've evolved over time, and perhaps my tastes have evolved. Maybe I'll like this better. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll hate it even worse. I don't know. But it's kind of a fun thing to do for the summer. Since, again, there's not a ton of new games coming out. We still have like 2 weeks before new releases start hitting. So it might be something fun to throw into the mix and see if you guys like. So I actually am going to start Super Mario Sunshine this Sunday. I'm going to actually do it as the daytime stream. We're going to give it a go and see if it's any good and see if you guys like it. Now, I could see this going many different ways. I could see it that I play it and everyone's like, oh, we've already played it. This is boring. And then it fails and no one wants it. I could see that I play it and it's frustrating to me. And some people are like, oh, it's entertaining to see him be tortured. And then it does really well. It could also land somewhere in between. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if this version that's on the Switch 2 will actually be worth our time. Does it run well, or is it emulated and it runs like shit? We won't know until we try it. I already have it because I already have the subscription to Nintendo Switch Online Premium or whatever it's called. So it makes sense to at least try it and see if it's any good. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. But at least we gave it a shot to see if it would work. So Sunday's daytime stream, I'll be trying out Super Mario Sunshine. I hope you'll be here for that after the Level 1 podcast. We'll give it a taste. We'll give it a go, and we'll see if it's any good and go from there. Okay? Now, in addition to that... Oh, I'm sorry. It's Puppet Pal Mitch. Re-upped his membership for 4 months. I did miss that. He says, thanks for unbanning me. Are you playing Madden? No, I'm not playing Madden. Okay, so in addition to that, there's another game that came out that I was interested in. I had it on my Steam wish list for a while, and I want to give it a try and see if it's any good as well. This game is called Re-Story. You might say, what the hell does that mean? It's a game where you run a repair shop in Japan, in Tokyo, in the mid-2000s. So what happens is people bring you their broken devices. You know, they're going to bring you a broken game controller, an Atari, a Tamagotchi. Remember those? The Tomodachi or Tamagotchis, whatever they were, those little virtual pets. An actual PSP. Remember the PSP? So they bring you these things. They're all busted. And they say, hey, can you repair it? And so you have to actually, like, completely disassemble, clean, replace parts, and then build the things back up. What's neat about the game is that you actually get to see the internal structure of many of these devices. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's kind of neat to see, oh, that's what was inside of a PSP. That's actually kind of neat to see. But also there's story. You talk to characters, you build relationships. It actually advances like a real RPG while you're also doing these other elements. I see this game as being a fun and chill night game where we kind of hang out together and have fun while we do this stuff. I think that would be a really nice, different kind of game for night streams. And it is a nice little indie game. If it's good, maybe it'll, you know, help a game out that people see, oh, what's this game, right? I like when I play a lesser known game like that and perhaps some people could get interested in it. I get, you know, word all the time from my viewers, hey, I didn't even know the game existed and I saw you play it and now I like it and I bought it for myself. So, I want to start that sometime next week. I just don't know when yet. Like I said, we're going to test out Pokemon Brilliant Diamond on Sunday night, and if people do support it, we're going to play more of it. But if not, if it fails, maybe then we're going to be playing Restory in its place. I am going to continue with Final Fantasy VI next week, so as long as that continues to do well, that's going to be a lot of night streams. So really directly dependent on how other things go will influence if we play Restory and how quickly we play Restory next week. Okay? So outside of everything that I just mentioned, so we're going to have Assassin's Creed Black Flag story continuing. We're going to have, hold on. We're going to have Super Mario Sunshine starting on Sunday. We're going to see if people like that. Depending on how this stream goes with Dark Souls 2, it'll determine if we do more Dark Souls 2 or if we end up doing something else. All right, we're going to continue with Final Fantasy VI. We're going to do a stream of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, see how it does, and if it does well, we'll continue on with it with the post-game. If not, then we don't. And we might play Restory, okay? Now, on top of everything I just mentioned, if other stuff is going on, I would consider other things as well. Now is the time at this point, since it sounds like some playthroughs are going to be ending. We have a couple of weeks before we get into the major releases of this season. There's a couple games at the end of August. There's a bunch in September. We're going to be very busy at that point. So now would be the time to kind of try other things. For example, Spoderman just did a $2 super chat and said, Hell Let Loose Vietnam dropped yesterday. Try that. I heard of this. People have mentioned it on the stream. We didn't really look into it. But if it's something that people might be interested in me trying, I would consider it. I don't really know what it is. Is it like an FPS game or whatever? Military shooter, it sounds like. Yeah, I would check that out if people are interested. So, again, these are all possibilities for next week. Let's see how things pan out with Dark Souls and Pokemon and go from there. Let's see if Super Mario Sunshine works out and go from there. But we have other options that we can try. Okay? Cool. All right. Now, that's everything going on with games right now. Now let's get to the TCG stuff. Okay? If you don't care about cards, you can skip this segment. I will be talking about DSP Tries It in just a couple minutes. Okay? Okay. TCG stuff this week went incredibly well. Okay? We actually started off the week with the box of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Origins cards that arrived, and we were going to start opening those. But also, I had a box of Pokemon Surging Sparks, and I said, hey, this is good because now we can actually alternate between these boxes depending on the audience and what game we're playing. It's completely different kinds of cards. That'll work out nicely. In addition, we continued on opening Prismatic Evolutions as our bonus packs if people did big contributions or if we hit big milestones of support. So how did that go? Very well. In fact, I think this week we hit milestones every single stream except one. It might have been two, but I think it was just one. That was a pretty slow stream. Outside of that, we were pretty much opening packs every stream. And I will say this about the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, okay? I think that they're fun. I like the art. I have no idea what the cards do or how it really works, but it was a fun set. We ended up getting 5 hits in the box. Okay, 2 hits were very low value, like $2, $3 cards. 2 hits were decent value, $7, $8 cards, and then 1 hit actually made it to my Wall of Fame. Now, the thing I'm confused about with this hit, there's apparently 2 versions of this card, okay? And I'm, like, unable to determine which version of the card this actually is. Let me open this app. So people recommended this collector app. They said the collector app is a good one for Yu-Gi-Oh cards because it has like everything. So when I go here and I search and I go to Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I go to show sets and I go to Chaos Origins, okay? And so here it is. It says this is Griffo. That's the name of the card, Griffo. And it shows two versions of Griffo. It shows that there is a secret rare. In fact, let me type in. Can I type in Griffo? Yeah. So it says there's three versions of the card. It says there's a ultra rare version, and that's $12.93. So for the record, if this is the ultra rare, the value already went up. When I searched this 2 days ago, it said only $11.50. This is saying $12.93. So actually the value has gone up by about $1.50 in the last couple of days, okay? Now it also says there's a secret rare, and that one is worth $27.99. And there's an ultra rare or a Starlight rare, and that one is $84. I can confirm this is not Starlight rare because the Starlight rare has a unique, like, rainbow prismatic border. This one does not. This is just black. But I'm staring at both versions of this card, ultra rare and secret rare. They look identical. Like, they're showing scans of what the cards look like. My card looks like they look the same. So because they look the same, I don't know how to tell what version of the card I have. And I don't think it's printed anywhere on the card what version it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like letters somewhere on the card to determine the difference. But like I'm staring at both versions and they look the same to me. So does anyone know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh cards? To know the difference? I don't. Does anyone know? Let's hold on a second. Because one's called secret rare and one's called ultra rare, right? If I take a picture of the card, what's the number under the picture on the right? Okay, good question. The number under the picture on the right. I can't tell. It's blurry as shit. Okay, it says, okay, there's the number. Is it 004? Okay. Thank you. That explains it. I have the ultra rare, which is what we thought. It's not the secret rare. The secret rare has a certain code number. I have the ultra rare. So this is $12.93. So that's the card we got, the hit we got out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay? And do I like the cards? Yes. Now, we have some options, okay? Give me a second here, because we already opened that box, and we pretty much got almost every normal card in the set, okay? Now, there was another box. Let me find it. I think it's this one. I want to find the set that's before the one we just opened, Chaos Origins. Because the one before, people are saying, also has the chance of getting full art cards, and it's a nice set that people like. But I got to find the name of it. Okay, is this it? It's called... Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery. Is that the one that came out before it? I'm looking at it, but that one doesn't seem to have the full art cards that people claimed it did. These just look like Secret rare. Yeah, I don't really... A Starlight rare, but no full arts. No, this set does not have full arts. Does this one have full arts? This one is called Rarity Collection 5. No. What is the other one? Blazing Dominion? Okay, here it is. Blazing Dominion. That one supposedly has full arts. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to see if it's available. I'm scrolling. I don't see the full art cards. Basically, they have the super rares, the secret rares, the starlight rares, but I don't see full arts. The only one I saw full arts on is the most recent set, which we didn't get any. We opened the whole box and didn't get any full arts. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm seeing is there are some other Yu-Gi-Oh sets available that I could get relatively quickly. But I just don't know if they're ones that people are going to like. Okay, so here's what it looks like I can get. All right. I guess there was a... Hold on. Here's what I'm seeing. All right. Rarity Collection 5 is available. Retro Pack 2 is available. I think that one's from last year. Duelists Advance is available. What is this one? 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection Booster Box is available. Justice Hunters. All of these are available, and they all come right away. Like, if I order any of those ones I just mentioned, I could have them within like a day to 2 days. So potentially I could order those and we could have them for next week. So that way we would have variety for next week. But I don't know if you guys like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, what box would you want? Goliath says, limit over collection, the rivals or heroes are the best boxes. Limit over? I don't see those. If you're talking about ones that have tons of value and are super expensive, they're not available. Yeah, they're not. Nope. Look at this. The Infinite Forbidden Booster Box, that's available. Doom of Dimensions, that's available. There's like a ton available. I guess these are readily available. They're not really like monstrously in demand. So it looks like you can pretty much get these quickly. Pharaoh's Servant. Oh my god, there's so many. Dimension Force. Dude, how many sets of Yu-Gi-Oh are there? There's an insane amount. I've never searched for TCG and seen this many boxes of this many varieties, and they're all available. Age of Overlord Green. Power of the Elements. They're all available. Dapian says, yeah, it's the most reprinted card game in existence. There's just tons of it. Oh, wow. So, I mean, out of all the ones I'm mentioning, do any of these sound like ones people would be interested in seeing me open? To be honest, most of them actually aren't even expensive. They're readily available. I could get them within a day or two so we could have them for next week. And they're not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like I could just get them. But I need to know what you guys think. Like, what ones? What should I get? I don't want to buy one that no one cares about. People liked Chaos Origins because that's the latest box, right? So I'm happy for that. But then what do I want to do next? I'm not going to open the same box twice. We already got all the commons. Like, what would be the next one that you guys want to see? Well, if you guys know, let me know here in chat. Tag me and let me know what's the best one. Power of the Elements is from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. That show followed the original anime. It could be cool. Power of the Elements? Oh my god, let me find it. Did I say Power of the Elements? Because I don't see that one. I don't think I said that. No. Oh, I did say that. Here it is. Power of the Elements. Yeah. Here, because they're all listed here. Burst Protocol, Blazing Dominion. I'm trying to see. There's Doom of Dimensions. Duelist Advance. Stampede. Blaze of the something something. I'm trying to find it in the app. I don't even see it in the app. There's Pharaoh's Servant, which I just said. There's Power of the Elements. Here it is. I'm just going to click on it. Just take a look at it. I see a few like $2 to $6 cards. I wonder if there's any real value. If not, it's fine. Like, we don't need to be opening cards just for value. If you guys just like Yu-Gi-Oh! And you want me to open Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm okay with that, even if I don't get giant hits. It would kind of suck if there's no chance to get a card that can make the wall. Because my wall now is over $10. Like, every card on the wall is over $10. Okay, here's a $91, $103. I'm not to say I'm going to get those. They're probably the rarest ones in the box. $41. $13. Okay, there's a few of value that possibly we could get. That would make the wall. Okay. The Punk Jam Dragon. Weird. It seems alright. It seems like an okay set. Rarity 5 can have up to $600 cards. Oh, yeah. Rarity, that one was up here. What the? My mouse just malfunctioned. Great. Rarity 5 collection. Oh, yeah. Rarity 5 does have, yeah, right out of the gates, I'm seeing some higher value cards. Okay. So basically what you're saying is it doesn't really matter. I could get Yu-Gi-Oh! And people would probably like it. It doesn't have to be a particular set, but they're all readily, like, so many are readily available, more than I've ever seen of any other TCG, which is wild that there's that many available, okay? All right, so we finished Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Origins. We got good cards. People seem to like them. So perhaps I will get another set for next week. I'm going to actually look at it and see, maybe I'll order one for next week, and they come pretty quick, so I probably could have it for like Sunday, Monday. So we'll have variety for next week's card stuff, okay? Cool. We also opened Surging Sparks this week. We're a little more than halfway through the box. We got 4 hits. Our best hit so far is $9. It's a Kecleon. I looked into it last night. The good news... Oh, man, what happened here? Look at this. When did this happen? I didn't have this when I started the show. I was a welt on my head. Where did that come from? Do you see what I say about my skin being way too sensitive? So I must have touched my forehead here during this segment, and now I have a freaking pink welt on my head. I hate my skin. I really do. I hate my skin. I always have. I'm so freaking sensitive. Like, I'll go like this and get a freaking big red mark on my nose that's there for like 2 days. So stupid. Anyway, so We got 4 hits. I looked into it. None of the hits that we pulled from Surging Sparks is considered the big one. And technically, in an English box, you're supposed to get a card that's considered a big hit. The thing is, the big hits don't always have value. I'll give you an example. This absolutely is considered a big hit. It's a hyper rare card worth $90-something. This we got from a Surging Sparks box before. But there's other cards that look just like that are gold, that are worth like $5 to $10. And they're just as rare as this one, but no one wants them, so therefore they have no value. We very much could get a card that's a rare card that's not worth anything. But there should still be a rare card in that box, and it is still coming, okay? So, we still have 15 packs of Surging Sparks left. That's actually what we have to open right now on this stream. So, that's for right now. Also, we finished the Prismatic Evolutions and got pretty much nothing this week. However, I started something new. Mega Dream EX, which is the Japanese version of Ascended Heroes. In these packs, you are guaranteed hits, and some packs have multiple hits. For example, last night, we opened the very first one. It had a full art card, which sadly was the lowest full art card value. It was only like 33 cents. But then there was also an EX card in that pack. And like, oh, so you could get more than one hit in a pack? Yes, with these cards, you get more than one hit in a pack, and there's guaranteed multiple hits in this box. So there's 9 packs left. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of hits next week when we open these, okay? Or today, because today we might have a lot of support. We'll open some of these, and hopefully we'll get some good hits out of the box, okay? If this goes down as a, success, I may get more. Or I may get others as well, because they have Japanese versions of Prismatic Evolutions and other ones, so I might try them, okay? Cool. Now, today, we have a new set arriving. Dragon Ball Super Masters. Okay, and I'm trying to remember exactly what the name of the box is. Here, I'll find it. Dragon Ball Super card game, Masters Ultra Bout Set 4 Impact Beyond Dimensions. Okay, that's a mouthful. That's arriving today. It's not here yet, and sadly, it's not even out for delivery yet. I was hoping it would have arrived during the podcast, as has happened before. It did not arrive during the podcast, okay? So sadly, idiot. So sadly, we will not have Dragon Ball cards likely for this stream. Perhaps we'll get the box for later tonight. If we do, then likely those will be the cards people would want to see. Okay, I looked up this set last night in that collector app. There's a lot of good hits and cards in that set, like a ton. Now again, are you guaranteed to get them? No. But there's hundreds of dollars a card, in there. There's some that are lower value, but there's some really nice cards and hits in that set. So we'll have to see what we get when it shows up and see what the quality of the cards is and all of that. Okay, so that's coming today. Hopefully in time for the second stream. So if all goes according to plan, we'll still have some Pokemon. We'll have the Dragon Ball, and I'll probably order another box of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, yes, there was one, exactly, Dab Hands. There was one other suggestion that someone made. People were saying that they're interested in seeing me possibly do this Final Fantasy trading card game. However, the problem with that is that the latest one is not available. It's on back order for at least a week to 2 weeks. There's another one, a different one, that's called Opus 27 Journey of Discovery. That one I could get relatively quickly, but I don't know if that one is any interest. 18 packs per box, so actually not a lot of packs in these boxes from what I'm seeing. It's very different. It is. It's very different from other TCGs, the way that they've done these. 18 packs per box. Yeah, they're all 18 packs per box. Yeah, the only one for me that's readily available is this Opus 27 Journey of Discovery. That's the only one that I can order. Everything else is on back order. I would have to order it and wait like 2-3 weeks to get it. I don't really want to do that. I'd much rather get things that are more readily available and can come pretty quickly. So I don't think I'm going to be getting that right now. So we'll have Dragon Ball. We'll have some Pokemon. I'm probably going to get another box of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I'm debating, should I get another box of Pokemon? Really, the challenge for me is the Pokemon. Why? Because now we've pretty much opened all the readily available sets. We've done the more recent ones. Pitch Black, Chaos Rising, Mega Evolution. Okay? Perfect order. We did that. Okay? We did one box of Phantasmal Flames. That was a big mistake. I'll never get that ever again. I really feel like that was a waste of money. It was way too expensive, and we got nothing in it. Okay? So we're doing Surging Sparks again because Surging Sparks is readily available. I know for a fact like Journey Together is available, but a lot of people warned me against that set, saying that there's not a lot of good hits in that set, nor do people really like it that much. So I don't know if people would be interested in Journey Together. That one seems available. There are, every once in a while, there's sets that appear, but then they're gone right away. So basically, if you don't buy them immediately when they're in stock, they're gone within a day or two, and then you have to wait on back order again. So I could get another set of English Pokemon cards. I'm debating it. I think what I'll do is probably either today or tomorrow on my day off, I'll look and see what's available, and maybe I'll order another box. It seems like the Pokemon is always a staple thing. You know what I'm saying? It's always a staple thing. People like it to alternate between the other ones we're doing. They like an option of having more than one set. So maybe I'll just, on that fact, I'll order another set of Pokemon cards just to have one. Okay? So I think I'll probably do that too. I'll look into it. I'll let you know. Basically, when I come back on Sunday, I'll have more information on all of that for you guys. Okay? Cool. All right, now, I got some shout-outs to do. And then, I want to talk about DSP Tries It. Okay? Shout-outs. Dead Cat 7 did a £5 super chat and said the Dark Souls 2 playthrough is legend. Will you return to Tekken 8? I feel you could play well with new character Clive from Final Fantasy 16. No. For those who don't know, when you have an actively played fighting game like Tekken 8 is, Tekken 8 has a very active community of competitive players, okay? If you don't stay with that game along with it the entire time that that it's being played, there is absolutely no reason to ever go back to it. Why? Because the people who stick with it are going to try hard the hell out of that game, and they are going to master it and know every little nuance. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Right now, if I were to boot up Tekken 8, well, how did I play it? Was I playing it on PS5? I think I was, right? So let's say I were to boot up Tekken 8 and start playing it on the same account, same ranking that I had. I would immediately lose nonstop and never win a match. Why? Because everyone else played it for 2.5 extra years. So they know all the new tech. They know everything about everything. My basic elementary gameplay of Yoshimitsu is not going to be able to hang with these people. They have been playing like crazy. Okay? So right now, if Tekken 9 came out and you said, Phil, will you play Tekken 9? Yes. Absolutely, I would. I would try. I love Tekken 9. I think it's great. You know, I like all new Tekken games, and I would definitely give it a go. Am I going to play Tekken 8 2.5 years removed from the game when everyone else kept playing it and I dropped it? No. I'm not stupid. It would be a complete waste of everyone's time, yours and mine, to do that. So I loved Tekken 8 when I played it. I thought it was a great game, but there's no way I'm going back to it. Okay? Thanks for the super chat. Spoderman did another $5 super chat. No one is interested in pack openings. Wrong. That's completely false. And then he says, who would you go for first? Keem, Boogie, and RTU or in a Hell in a Cell match? Huh? Who would I go for first if Keem, Boogie, and RTU were in a Hell in a Cell match? Wait, what? Let me try this again. Who would you go for first if you, Keem, Boogie, and RTU were in a Hell in a Cell match? I misread it 4 times because he typed very oddly. Okay? Well, here's the thing. None of them are a threat. Literally, none of those men are a threat to me. None of them. 2 of them are grossly overweight. I would never be able to do anything. And Keemstar's a little guy. He can't hurt me either. So the question is, who would take the most effort to take down first? And then you work, I guess, on the smaller guys. I would probably like Boogie, just take his leg out immediately. And he can't even get up. He's done. Plus, let's be honest, Boogie's not a fighter anyway. Like, you know, look at his fight with Wings. It wasn't even a fight. So probably just run right up to Boogie and sweep the leg, and he's done. He can't even fight. Now you got RTU and Keemstar, and they're probably getting into like a slap fight or something while you're taking out Boogie, right? So, see, I've heard this, that RTU lost a lot of weight. Is that true? I haven't seen RTU. Now, here's the thing. RTU lost all that weight, but you know he has no muscle. He has 0 muscle mass. So it's funny because you guys say shit about me, but you know that if he actually went on Ozempic and lost the weight, he's the weird, deformed, you know, sickly looking guy, not me. I'm actually working out and building up muscle here. You see? He's not. He's got nothing. So the question is, like, what's the quickest one? I don't know. See, actually, I don't know Keemstar's build whatsoever. I know he's short, but I don't know his build. I don't know if he works out or anything. I know nothing about Keemstar. So actually, in this situation, Keemstar's the X factor. I don't know. You see? I don't know. How tall am I? I'm 5'11". So I think I'm about the same height as them, right? I think they're all like, I'm pretty sure that, is Boogie 6 feet tall? Or is he shorter? I don't know. Anyway, it's a moot point. You know that Boogie and RTU have absolutely no stamina whatsoever, so they can't ever fight. Like, they would never be able to fight anyone who has stamina. So it's just between me and Keem, and the question is, I don't know what Keem's build is or anything, so I can't really answer that. But it would either be me or Keem winning this thing. It definitely wouldn't be Boogie or RTU, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks Spoderman for $5. What a stupid hypothetical. Let's see here. It's Puppet Pal Mitch did $2 and says, I agree with Spooter. Okay, good for you. Thanks for $2. I don't even know what you agreed with him on. Okay. All right. DSP tries it. Okay? No, I didn't admit to using Ozempic, you fucking idiot. Now I'll get banned. Dumb fuck. I never said I use Ozempic. I don't. Stupid idiot. Okay. So, in regards to DSP tries it. This week, unless we come up with a better idea, I'm starting my new idea, which is then versus now. What this means is that I'll be going to established fast food restaurants, and I'll be trying out classic things off their menu to see if these things are good in the modern day compared to how they used to be, both taste-wise, quality-wise, and value-wise. So understand, it's not just going to be, oh, does it taste good? It's going to be, well, how much does it cost? Because, you know, a Big Mac might still taste good, but if they're charging $12 for a Big Mac, it doesn't really matter. Okay? So, the question is, where should I go first? Because here's the thing. I was thinking there's 4 that I could go to. If I go to McDonald's, we could try the Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, McNuggets, McChicken, staples like that. If I go to Burger King, I could try the Whopper, the original chicken sandwich, probably fries, onion rings, maybe one other thing as well. Classics, things that they've had for a long time. If I go to Wendy's, we can get the Big Bacon Classic. We can get the spicy chicken sandwich. Again, maybe some of the sides, maybe a Frosty, stuff like that. All classics off their menu. Or lastly, Taco Bell, where we can try the classic taco, maybe a chalupa or a gordita, maybe the chicken quesadilla, and we could try those. So these are all things that have been on their menus for a long time. And I can tell you what I think of each one, okay, based on, you know, old versus new, then versus now, and current pricing, okay? So the question is, what would you like me to try out of those? And we're going to do a poll right now, and that's going to determine what I do for DSP Tries It next week, okay? So you decide live. Here we go. All right, please vote in these polls right now live to determine the next DSP tries it, okay? Here we go. What's up, Beef Supreme? How are you? All right, so please vote. Let's see what you guys vote for. I'm very curious what you will want. And based off of that, we'll determine what we do for DSP Tries It this coming week. Now, if anything new comes up, like someone had said, oh, there's going to be a new chicken and waffle sandwich at Chick-fil-A later in the month and stuff like that. Don't worry, we can still do that. Like, I'm okay with doing that. But I need to know when those things are coming out so I can check them out and we can do them and put them into the schedule. So as new stuff comes out and you're made aware of it, please let me know so that I can do that, okay? But for now, I think this will be an interesting episode. So let's see. I don't know, old versus new, then versus now. I think then versus now sounds better versus old versus new, because they say new, but it's not new. For example, if you go to McDonald's and you get the Big Mac, it's supposed to be the Big Mac. It's not supposed to be, oh, this is the modern Big Mac, it's totally different. It's supposed to think that's our Big Mac, that's our signature sandwich. So it's not necessarily old versus new, it's then versus now. How has it changed if it did, right? Yeah. Okay, by the way, Spoderman did a $2 super chat. He says, can you buy and review Lolcow Live trading cards? No, I don't give a shit about those. Fuck that. I want to collect real cards that actually could have value. That Lolcow shit, you just throw that right in the trash can. You open them and you just, oh, look, it's Boogie. Trash. Oh, look, it's RTU. Trash. Oh, look, trash. No, I'm not planning to sell the cards anytime soon. It doesn't mean that I might not in the future. But if we're going to do stuff, I want to do stuff that obviously there's a reason. If you like the look of them, that's one thing. Like, oh, I really like the looks of this set. I think it would be fun to open, you know, then I'm okay with that. It doesn't necessarily have to have tons of value. So people person thinks old versus new would actually trend better in algorithms and stuff. Do you think so? Comedy Master says, Boogie says he only has $7,000 in the bank. I don't understand how people donate a lot on Lolcow. How does he have so little money? Because he blows it all. Do you think that a guy of that size magically becomes that size and stays that way? Or do you think he blows all his money on bad food? It's pretty easy to figure out. My hair is all screwed up today, too. What is going on? Look, my hair is sticking up in the middle of my head. I got a welt on my forehead. What is happening to me today? I'm falling apart. I'm going to have to go comb my hair. Look. Looks terrible. Greed Goblin, thanks for $2. What you said is absolutely ridiculously stupid, but I appreciate the support anyway. So, guys, currently we're at $35 of support. As I stated at the very beginning of this podcast, today I am playing Dark Souls 2, and we're going to try to wrap up the game. We may not, but we're going to try. If today is a well-supported stream, I will commit to starting up a DLC for the game next week. If this is a low-support stream, we are done, and I'm not going to play the game again. We're done with it. We will not play the DLCs. So, if you want them, you got to support the stream today. Doesn't matter how. It could be a super chat. It could be a tip. It could be subs. It could be kicks. It could be super, you know, whatever. Memberships. But you got to support today if you want to see DLCs. Okay? So please do. If you like Dark Souls, now is your time to step up and say, we want it. Let's go. Currently, yes, the idea is applying to food only fear of death. You know, remember DSP Tries It originally was other than food, but there you go. Someone tipped me $2 and said something incredibly stupid. Thanks for $2, incredibly stupid person. Okay. Well, the polls have finished, and overwhelming votes went to Taco Bell. I wonder if that's because I haven't done Taco Bell in a while. All right, so I have to look at the menu, and I'm going to have to pick some classic Taco Bell items off of the menu to see what it is that I would like to get. And like I said, my idea would be probably just you got to get a classic taco. You have to, because that's like the staple thing, right? You got to get either like a chalupa or gordita. Both of those things have been on the menu for a while. You got to get the quesadilla. That's been on the menu for a long time. Maybe a burrito of some kind, right? Try a burrito. So I'll probably get like 4 or 5 different items and try them all and compare and see if they're any good. A Big Piece did $2 as a super chat. Says, we want Dask Souls. Well, thank you. Your support will go towards Dark Souls. But I do appreciate the $2, and, you know, maybe if I figure out what Dask Souls is, one day I'll check that out, too. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Who remembers that? That was so popular, the Taco Bell Chihuahua. That was so popular back in the day. Like one of the big, huge marketing success stories. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Do I remember McDonald's had 39-cent cheeseburgers on Wednesdays? No, and the reason I don't remember that is because I was never a big McDonald's guy. I was more Burger King. I ate Burger King way more often than McDonald's when I was young. So I never went to McDonald's for 39-cent cheeseburger Wednesdays. Green Goblin says, can I recommend the Chipotle Crispy Chicken Bacon Burrito from Taco Bell? You can, but that's not the point of what we're doing, Greed Goblin. We're trying to do classic things they've had on the menu for a long time. That sounds new. You missed the 90s? Well, I'm sorry about that, Beef Supreme. Can I answer your question? Well, I didn't see your question, so no, I can't. If you retype your question and I see you tagging me in it, maybe I can, but I didn't see it originally. No, I never played in a McDonald's ball pit. No, I did not. What was my favorite fast food growing up? Burger King. My mom and I used to have nice days out together, and we would go places like shopping and stuff, and we would always have lunch at Burger King. And I would get, at first it was the cheeseburger kids meal. Later on, I started getting the double cheeseburger, then the double bacon cheeseburger kids meal. Well, it wasn't really the kids meal, I guess. And she would always get the Whopper Jr. She loved the Whopper Jr. So we went there all the time. Okay, what time is it? Because I'm trying to see. Okay, we still have about a little bit more time to hang out on the show. So, in summary, both Dark Souls 2 and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond may not continue. It depends on the level of support we get. So if you want Dark Souls 2 today, support this stream. If you want Pokemon, support Sunday night stream. That will determine if we do DLC content or post-game content in those games. Next week, we're going to be testing Super Mario Sunshine on Sunday to see if it's any good on Switch 2. And if it's good and you like it, we'll continue it as a playthrough. And if not, we'll drop it. We'll see. I also would like to try Restory next week when we get a chance, but it depends on other games we're playing. Card stuff. Currently, we are opening Pokemon Surging Sparks and Mega Dream EX. Today, later in the day, we're supposed to get the new Dragon Ball set. That's exciting. And I'm likely over the weekend going to order more Yu-Gi-Oh! And maybe even another box of Pokemon, depending on what's available, so that we always have that to balance with the other things that we're opening. And DSP Tries It, it looks like, is going to be Taco Bell, then versus now, or old versus new, where we compare the classics to how they stack up today, value-wise, quality-wise, etc. It's going to be interesting. The interesting week coming up for sure. No, I would never go vegetarian or vegan. Absolutely not. I like meat and protein too much. I'm not going to sit around eating beans and chickpeas all day to try to get my proteins. Did I ever do Dunkin' Donuts on DSP Tries It? I don't recall if I ever did it way back in the day when I lived in Connecticut. There is no Dunkin' Donuts in Washington State. It doesn't exist. We have Starbucks and a bunch of local coffee shops, and that's it. Dunkin' never made it here. So we don't have that to partake in. So Hellman did 500 kicks. He says, would you ever consider a sponsored episode of DSP Tries It? I'd like to see you try Long John Silver's Hush Puppies and other Long John Silver's items. I don't think we have one anymore. I'll check right now. At one point, we did have a Long John Silver's in our area, but I'm almost positive that it closed. Let me see. I'm almost positive. Yep, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. What we do have is Ivar's. And that is similar to Long John Silver's, where it's a lot of fried seafood. Like, for example, fish and chips with that's cod. Let's see, clams, prawns, salmon, scallops. It's all deep fried fish. So Ivar's does that, but no, sadly, there's no Long John Silver's in the area. Barbecue chips in a sandwich says, would you ever eat an O Long Johnson's? No, but I'm sure you suck on O Long Johnson's all the time, don't you? You love it. You're an expert at it. Yes, we looked at HPL High Rock the School. However, it didn't look very good. Like, basically, the graphics looked a little weird. And then when we saw the gameplay elements, it didn't look good at all. So that's why I'm not interested in it. Bear Claw or Boston Cream Donut? Bear Claw. I actually don't like the Boston Cream filling stuff. A Bear Claw I would prefer. Would I ever do modded Dark Souls 3? Yes. I think eventually we will do modded Dark Souls 3. I see it in the cards. Just obviously not anytime soon, considering we're just finishing up Dark Souls 2. What happened to the palette? I'm glad you asked. If you would like a live, up-to-the-minute update of what happened with the palette on which my exercise machine was arrived, use the palette command right now, either in the Kicker YouTube chat, and you will get a live update on the status of the palette. Go for it. Do I like seafood? Yes, I do. Indeed, I do like seafood. In fact, we just had seafood. Yeah, was it last week? Yeah, it was. Last week I had the 2 days off, right? On our day out, we went to a local restaurant called Duke's Seafood, and I got a big ass. It was called the Big Louie the Big Louie crab roll. So it was actual real crab with all kinds of toppings on a roll, kind of like how you get a lobster roll, but this was a crab roll. It had all kinds of stuff. It had different peppers, and different kinds of veggie toppings. It had, it had like a hard-boiled egg slice on it. It was interesting. It tasted amazing. It was some of the best crab I've ever had in my life. It was so flavorful. What did Kat get? She got stuffed prawns. She loves shrimp, so she got the big stuffed prawns. Spoderman, thanks for $5. Says, go to Jersey Mike's. They're ranked #1 of this year. Tell them to keep Mike's body cam off for this one secret menu item. I have no idea what that means, but I go to Jersey Mike's occasionally. My wife and I love it, and if we're going to get a sandwich, that's where we go. Jersey Mike's is absolutely delicious. 100% agree with you. I love Jersey Mike. You know what I'm sad about? Earlier this year, which was the DSP tries at the Jersey Mikes I did, I got their new Italian grilled sandwich. What they do is the same grill that they make the cheesesteaks and chicken cheesesteaks on, they took this sandwich of Italian meats and they grilled it up on there fresh and then put it on the sandwich, and it had hot pepper relish on it. I love the sandwich. Apparently, they've already discontinued it. I don't know if they just thought it was too much work to cook so many sandwiches or whatever, but it sucks that they discontinued it because it was really good and I wanted to get it again. When am I going to try Firehouse Subs again? No time soon, considering they can't get my orders right. I couldn't believe I ordered that new sandwich and they gave me the completely wrong sandwich. Zero quality control to have that slip through the cracks. So screw them. I'm not going there again anytime soon. I've never seen Branzino at any Italian restaurant, and we barely have any out here. I tried a banh mi. We tried a banh mi on this stream for DSP Tries It years ago. The bummer was, though, I decided to try a tuna banh mi, and I didn't really like it. I think if I had tried banh mi with a more traditional protein selection, I might have liked it more. But I tried the tuna, and I just didn't like the big chunk of tuna that was in it. I didn't think it was that good. Would I play a PS1 game on stream? I would if there was a way to do that. Like, I don't have a way to play PS1 on stream. I don't have a PS1 or anything like that. If we figured out some emulation situation, or if it was available on PS5, like Virtual Console or something, I don't know. I don't know how it works. Excuse me. There you go. Sloppy Steaks has definitely tried the Cure Pork Banh Mi next time. I probably should have done that as my first one. I kind of made a mistake. Corn or flour tortilla soft tacos. I prefer flour tortilla tacos just on the sake of cleanliness. I'm not that I don't like the flavor of a corn crunchy taco shell. I do, but it goes everywhere. The moment you bite into it, sometimes it cracks right down the middle, and now it's just, that's it. And it's just a big mess. Mercury Place says, check out these tortillas at Costco called Oro Wheat tortillas, 17 grams of fiber and 90 calories. When we get tortillas, all right, we actually get the ones that are zero net carbs, meaning there's so much fiber in them that even though you're adding carbs, you're going to not retain those carbs. That's the tortillas that we get. And they're great. They taste amazing, and they're healthy for you. People Person says, you're right. You should go with then versus now. If you do old versus new, they might think it's a new menu item. There you go. I think I'll do then versus now. Do I know the brand? Oh, man. Oh. Off the top of my head, I don't think I know the brand. There's a few different ones that they do. I get the ones that are like hand-sized, like street taco sized, and there's different flavors. I get jalapeno, but they have like they have like a sun-dried tomato. They have, I think, ranch. They have like 3 or 4 different flavors. My wife gets the slightly bigger ones that are more traditional taco size because she prefers bigger tacos, and I get the smaller one. I have like a bunch of small ones, but I don't recall the brand off the top of my head. I didn't even look at the bag. I just read it. It says, oh, you know, net carbs, high fiber. I just grab that. It's only 1 o'clock. Why would there be gameplay? It's 1 o'clock on a podcast day. Why would there be gameplay, and why are you complaining? Quiet. Quiet, you. Have I ever had halal food? Sure, I've had shawarmas and things. I'm sure that was halal. So yes, I've definitely had that kind of food before. Still, I want these Dragon Ball cards out for delivery. They're still not out for delivery, man. Dang it. Hello to Dead Dove Productions, who just did a $10 super chat. It says, hey, been quite a while since I've been able to come by. Glad to see you're doing well. A lot of releases are coming up. Personally, I'm hoping Blood of Dawnwalker is amazing. That's one of the ones I'm eyeballing for early September. I have no clue if that'll be good or not, right? It's kind of a big question mark, a big X factor. And here's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this year we're going to have one of those situations where basically the games that are the best are the ones you don't expect. Like, there's a bunch of big game studios coming out with tried and true titles this fall, but will it be the lesser knowns or the new attempts that are the better games? Like, I just played the Gears of War E-Day beta, and that online multiplayer is terrible. It's so boring and just not good at all. And that's supposed to be from a franchise that's known for its online multiplayer, and it sucks, right? So you got to wonder, like, who's going to do well, who's going to succeed, and who's going to flop and fail this fall. I wonder. Maybe Blood of the Dawnwalker will succeed. Is the Gears game fundamentally trash, or can it be fixed? Yeah, it can be fixed, but they have to make other weapons viable. In the beta, all anyone does is run around and shoot with the shotgun or go get the powered weapon. You know, that's limited. There's no point in using the rifles at all. They're horrible. And the melee is waste too, just the shotgun's more effective. So you made a game where half of the loadouts are garbage. How do you not understand that that's bad game development for a competitive game? It's your stupidity. Am I excited for Fable? I don't really have faith. The studio making it is the same studio that makes Forza. You know, it could be good. It has potential to be good, but it could also be terrible. I don't know. How's the battle scar healing? Is it itchy and painful? It's a little itchy, it's a little painful, but I will say this, it's healing nicely, and I think it's because of the way that I've changed my lifestyle. I have such a high-protein diet that it's exactly what you need when you get injured for stuff to heal quickly. So I'm actually shocked at how much it looks like it's healed within a day and a half that it happened. Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, my cat Jasper scratched me really badly about 2 nights ago. I was carrying him into the bedroom like I always do, and he got freaked out. There was a fan that was in like a different position, and he kicked it by accident, and then he just went full force with his back feet, which have claws. He's front declawed, but his back claws are still very sharp, and he just went right into my chest and tore down like this. So I have 7 big scratches across my chest that all were bleeding all over the place. Really gruesome, actually. But I disinfected it immediately, and yesterday I was kind of wincing in pain here on stream. Today, it actually feels much better. Like, it's still not great, but I actually worked out last night. I was actually able to do my full workout of press, the pull downs. I always forget what this one's called. The pull down, like lateral pull down, something like that. Crunches, and actually, no, I think this is the lateral pull down. So you take the bar and you're standing up and you pull it down like this, and that works out your triceps. So I did all 4 of those last night, and I didn't bleed. So I was like, it healed so much within 24 hours. It wasn't... I'd say I'm not reopening any wounds or anything. You know what I mean? And even the crunches, I was able to do all the crunches, no problem. I'm like, all right, well, that was excellent. It healed really quick. Dude, I think they'll be permanent scars. They very well could be. Like I said, these are similar to years ago. He scratched me right here across my arm. This is when I had my old chair. And that one had big arms. And I had just my arm like this. And he was jumping up and he slipped. And his foot, it caught right here on my arm. And it went, and just tore me right open live on stream. And that bled pretty much just as bad as these did. And it was just one. And I've got a big scar across my arm there from it. So I can expect that probably I'm going to have 7 big-ass scars across my body now for the rest of my life. Off of a cat scratch. Like, it sucks. I'll just have to tell everyone I fought a tiger. I was, I was in the jungles of Borneo, and a wild tiger emerged from the foliage, and I fought it off, tooth and nail, hand-to-hand combat. I won the fight. Stranger Than Heaven does look good. I think Stranger Than Heaven might be the best game that studio has put out in a long time. I'm very happy they're doing something different that isn't directly Yakuza. I mean, yes, it ties in with Yakuza, but at least it's not the same thing. I'm glad they're doing something that's going to be, diversifying from that. Do we trim his nails? No. Do we have scratch mats? We have limited scratch mats because he doesn't have front claws. He doesn't actively scratch anything because he doesn't have front claws. He doesn't know to do it. Does that make sense? We do give him toys and things that he kicks around and scratches, but no, basically his back claws are incredibly sharp and there's nothing we can really do about it. We're not going to sit there and cut his claws. That's messed up. There you go. Bunny's a Game says, get an eye patch for Halloween. You could be Sagat. There you go. Yeah, that's an idea. I'll have scars across my chest, eye patch, I'll be Sagat. Then I have to shave my head, though. Or wear a bald cap. What do I use to style my hair? A comb and water. Which is probably why it's all deformed today and didn't hold its shape. It looked fine when I started the podcast, and somehow it got all screwed up. I can't use gel. I used to. When I first grew out my hair in 2011, it was late 2010, early 2011. I grew out my hair because I used to always have it like a crew cut, but I wanted it to be longer because I was becoming a YouTuber and I wanted to change my look. So I grew it out more. And when I did that, I started using hair gel. And I used to always comb it back with the hair gel. And it worked well and it held its form. The problem is, I have horrible skin. As I've already explained, finally this is going away. I have atrociously sensitive skin. It's ridiculously sensitive. I've had it my whole life like this. I went to a dermatologist for it and everything. He says, you're just screwed. It's your genetics. So I ended up breaking out in a terrible rash on the top of my ears and the back of my neck, basically where the hair gel was sitting all day when I used it. And the skin was all dry and flaking up and itchy as shit. And it was starting to bleed. And I was like, oh, I can't use hair gel anymore. So I just had to stop. And I just, I don't really put anything in my hair since then. Yeah, that was the Project 7 days. Exactly. I was using hair gel during that time period. Yes, I'm very greasy. Take a look. My skin, this skin that I have is so greasy and yucky. It's probably the Italian heritage in me. Same thing with my hair. My hair is usually kind of greasy. Even though I keep it, clean. I shower every day, just like everybody else. But it, sadly stays like pretty greasy. Nothing I can really do about that. Any chance I could one day finish Project 7?
No. No chance.
Am I saying Italians are greasy?
Yes, I know because I'm Italian.
It is sadly part of being an Italian is you get greasy skin and you get greasy hair. It's just part of it. It's freaking part of the culture. Nothing you can do about it. What happened to the music? I can't even hear it. The music is like so light I can barely hear it right now. Who is more likely to be qualified for an Italian mob boss, me or RTU? Who looks more the part? The guy who actually has the dark hair that's slicked back? Or the guy who has no hair and looks like... Oh, forget it. There you go. Am I playing Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy? No, I'm not. Am I playing the new Fire Emblem game? No, I am not. R2 eats a lot of pasta? That I would believe, for sure. That I totally believe. But it ain't good pasta. He's not making authentic. He's making like SpaghettiOs and shit. Right? He's eating the little fucking fake processed meatballs. He's sucking on the Chef Boyardee raviolis. Mmm. Authentic gourmet. Mm. Well, guys, thank you. We've had a chill podcast. I've enjoyed myself. I hope you guys have too. Let's see how we're doing because I haven't been following. We are currently at $59 of support. Now, we have no subs at all on Kick today. It'd be great to get our first sub on Kick. That would be well appreciated if we did. Okay? We got one membership today. Thanks for that. We got some super chats. Only a $2 tip on Kick, or on PayPal, excuse me. It'd be great to get some more support to get momentum going. I was hoping that if you guys were serious about doing the DLCs for Dark Souls 2, that we were going to get some great momentum going here on the podcast, perhaps get to the first milestone of $100. Then, we only need to do a little bit more to get some pack openings on the stream, and to say, hey, it was a well-supported stream, so we'll do the DLCs next week. But I need to see that you care. So please support the stream right now. If you want Dark Souls 2 next week, now's the time. If you want pack openings today, now is the time. Let's go. Have I seen True Romance? I don't know. I don't remember. Star Wars Zero Company, likely no, simply because it's the XCOM formula. I like the XCOM formula, but it didn't work the 2 times I tried it. I tried it with actual XCOM back in the day, and then I tried it again with Mario Cross Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and both times it flopped on this channel, so... 20 minutes ago, the Final Fantasy trading card game released a special Final Fantasy X collection. Where? Where did they release that? Where is that for purchase? I will look it up right now, but I need to know where it is. Not that it just exists and now scalpers have it, but where is it that I could purchase it? Oh, no, you know what? I never saw True Romance. I never saw that movie. I'm aware of it, but I never saw it. Cyberrogue, you got the final officer in Black Flag. How many are there? I have 2. If there's another one, it would probably be later on. I have 2 of the new officers. Would I get RTU tattooed on my body? No, because I'm not a complete embarrassment to humanity as a whole. I would never do something that stupid. There's 5 officers? Oh, wow. I only got the 2, so I guess they come later in the story then. What's my favorite gin? I don't think I've had enough gin to really make that determination. Obviously, you guys know the meme is Tanqueray because the Tanqueray used to be in my videos back in the day. I liked Tanqueray because it had a strong citrusy flavor. I've had that Bombay Sapphire. It's actually, I think the Bombay Sapphire tasted a little stronger, but it wasn't necessarily better. But I don't really drink gin that often, so I'm not like a connoisseur of gin to know what's good and what's not. Oh, yeah, I've had Beefeater. Beefeater is just like, I don't know, it was all right. I remember Beefeater, it was fine, but it was a little cheaper. When I used to get the Tanqueray back in the day, sometimes the Beefeater would be, you know, less expensive, and I would get that. But that was just okay, too. The meme you see is a whale bottle. Was it whale tail gin that we had like 2 years ago or something like that? I think I drank that on a stream. Whale tail. Waffles or French toast? Probably French toast. I like the egg flavor that you get on French toast as opposed to just the sweetness of waffle. Oh, I don't know. What is the next horror game I'm playing? Would it be the Silent Hill game coming out in the fall? The thing is that, obviously, in October, I tend to try to squeeze in some horror games. And notably, I do a Halloween horror marathon on Halloween where I dress up in costume and everything. So it really depends on that. Really? Comedy Master says, Whale Tail is so bad, I bought it because you drank it live. I don't remember if it was any good. I actually don't remember it at all. I remember drinking it, but I don't remember what it tasted like. I saw Return to Silent Hill. Yes, I did. I told you, it's so weird because Return to Silent Hill, okay, the parts that basically are like Silent Hill 2, that they took copy-pasted from Silent Hill 2, are good. Every single part that they copy-pasted for Silent Hill 2 is actually quite good because Silent Hill 2 is an insanely well-written game. Everything that they decided to change sucks horribly. Like, literally every change they made to make it their own movie, it sucks. Like, why did you change it? The original was much better. So, that's the problem. Who was my best character in Super Turbo to compete with? I would argue probably Vega. I was most successful with. But both Balrog and DJ I also did incredibly well with. And then after, like, behind all them, maybe Honda as my fourth. In fact, at EVO East, I was having problems against Seth Killian with DJ, so I swapped to Honda and actually stole a win with Honda. Then he beat my Honda, and I went back to DJ, and I beat him. So it was like a rest period to go to Honda and then go back to DJ, and then I won. listen to this. Does it haunt you that you have no one to carry on the Burnell legacy? No. No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. What does that matter? Number one, pretty much the entirety of my adult life here, right, since I was in my late 20s, has been archived on the internet, right? Like, it's all here that anyone can watch forever. It's not going to go away. People can actually follow me and everything, my legacy. What legacy? It's live right now. Like, you could actually check everything immediately that I've been doing since I was like 26 on the internet, all live, that's the legacy. I don't need another human to pass on the legacy. I'm notable enough. Everyone's going to remember me. Songs in the key of CWC. Do you remember when I was working with Kino Casino and you sent me all those emails begging for me to listen to your crappy music remixes and to tell the guys at Kino Casino about them because you kept sending them to them and they were ignoring you for endless amounts of time? Remember that? Because you keep saying insulting things in my chat, but maybe I should read some of those emails to everyone. Would you like me to do that? When you were pathetic and groveling for my attention, trying to get in the door with Kino Casino? Since you want to sit here and say dumb shit in my chat? Who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up, bitch. In fact, here, eat a fucking dick and never come back. Go make more shitty remixes that the guys will ignore. Fuck off. Stupid bitch. And that's for truth. That's the truth. That guy he basically kept making remixes and sending them to the casino, and the casino would pay no attention to him whatsoever. They thought he was like a joke. And then he kept sending them to me saying, hey, well, they don't pay attention to me. Can you tell them that this is good? Can you help me out? No, I never did that either. So now I guess maybe one or two of his remixes got attention because it was about me. So they actually like watched them or whatever. But, that was all because of the fact that they were looking for content about me when they were trying to felt me. That's the only reason he ever got any attention. The guys never liked his shit to begin with. No, and the truth is he's been in my chat for months. So I don't care, but he keeps spamming the chat today, so fuck him. Cyber Oak, thanks for €5. He says, I found a trainer in AC Odyssey. Now it plays like real AC. There's an experience multiplier, damage multiplier. Now I can kill who I want when I want. That's cool. All right. Well, guys, we've had a lengthy 2-hour episode of the Level 1 podcast. We've determined a lot. Thank you for your input. That helps me figure out what to do next week for DSP Tries It. It sounds like then versus now we'll start with Taco Bell. We'll get some of the staple things off the menu and try them. I likely will end up getting perhaps some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they seem readily available. And thanks for your feedback regarding many different things today. Thanks for your early support. Remember, if you want Dark Souls 2 to continue with DLCs next week, support this stream. Have it be a well-supported stream, and then we will actually start with a DLC next week. Okay? All right. I think that is it for the podcast, folks. So I just want to remind everybody I'm not here tomorrow. It's my day off for the week. I return on Sunday. And on Sunday, we're trying Super Mario Sunshine, and we're seeing if we can get support and continue with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you for a great show. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I did. And I hope that you have a safe and fun Saturday off from my streams. I shall return on Sunday with more fun and lots of great content. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Peace out.